Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden is wrapping up his 8-day Iowa bus tour. The No Malarkey tour traveled more than 800 miles through the crucial swing state. It's named after one of Biden's old and favorite sayings, a bunch of malarkey. A CBS News battleground tracker from November found a very tight race in Iowa. Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden are at 22%. For first choice nominee, Pete Buttigieg and Elizabeth Warren are very close behind. CBS News campaign reporter Bo Erickson has been traveling with Biden in Iowa.
We're here in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, the last stop of Joe Biden's 8-day bus tour from all the way the western part of Iowa to here in the east. We went through 18 counties with Joe Biden, and the idea of this bus tour was to pick up undecided Democrats and dissatisfied Republicans, those who do not want to vote for President Trump again and who are looking for an alternative. 15 out of the 18 counties that Joe Biden stopped in, President Trump won. And so he's trying to kind of bridge the divide between Democrats and Republicans throughout the state. A lot of the issues he talked about were rural issues. He talked about broadband internet, healthcare, and how to keep agriculture competitive here with the tariff war going on as well. You could say that the bus tour started off with a bite and ended out with a bang. First off, the most viral moment of the campaign was the first stop in Council Bluffs, Iowa, where Dr. Jill Biden, Joe Biden's wife, she gestured and accidentally hit him in the face, and he ended up actually biting her hand, and that gave both the campaign and some people online a few laughs. Towards the end of the week, two big moments that really stood out. One, yesterday morning was when former Secretary of State John Kerry announced his endorsement of Joe Biden, and we saw John Kerry on the trail here in Iowa where he had two messages for Iowans listening. The first was that Joe Biden's foreign policy experience separates him from the rest of the Democratic field, and this is important, John Kerry says, with how President Trump treats allies throughout the world. And the second message that John Kerry delivered on behalf of Joe Biden was that polls don't show the whole story here in Iowa. John Kerry won this state when he was running for the Democratic nomination in 2004. And so he's saying with a little hard work, getting out and meeting people where they're at, he thinks Joe Biden can come back and be successful in the state as well. The other big moment that a lot of people were talking about was when one voter confronted Joe Biden in a rural Iowa town. He was talking about those Ukrainian allegations that President Trump talks about with the Biden family. And then Joe Biden responded back and called him a damn liar because he said what he was hearing on the news wasn't that quite true. It's been an issue out here for just a few handful of people that I've been talking with, that issue of Ukraine and how it maybe has muddied the waters for Joe Biden's candidacy. But overall, Democrats applaud him when he sticks up for himself. I was actually speaking with a longtime supporter of Joe Biden's here in the state, and he says that this is the Joe Biden that people like. They don't want him to be a wimp. They want him to stick up for his family. Joe Biden is off to New Hampshire this weekend with Secretary John Kerry, where they will campaign together. And then he has a few more stops next week before the debate at the end of the month in December. Joe Biden makes jokes all throughout the campaign trail that the debate is not necessarily the best venue for him to get his message out. And that's something that I've definitely seen out here as well. He likes the small, intimate gatherings and talking to people on the rope line. Something that continues to separate Joe Biden from the rest of the Democrats in the race is these personal interactions that he has. A lot of people come up and share moments of grief that they have with him, and usually Joe Biden hugs them, tells them it's going to be all right, and that tomorrow gets a little bit better. This is all trying to push that message going forward of that he thinks Americans want a president with empathy and compassion, and Joe Biden says they're not getting that from the current president.